Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to work on this lumpy mess. So this is a piece of fire agate. Now normally I would typically just go at this with a carving burr and grind away. It's pretty slow going, it's a much tougher material than opal, and I don't work it too often, so I thought I'd bring out a chunk now. You can see a tiny bit of green color up there, which is a good sign. What I've learned is that people actually do just cab this. Even though it's got that bubbly look when it's finished, it can be just straight up cabbed. So I might at least start off with the flat lap. And then if I really want to, I might transition back to the carving burrs where if I see something that I like and I want to keep it all bubbly. But otherwise, we're just going to flat lap it. And the flat lap I'm choosing to use is this one right here. So this is the 3D printed one by Wallamy Opals on Facebook. And he has recently started getting back into the production things. He was going through a bit of a rough time, but he's picked it back up. And so people should be getting their orders once again. Feel free to type that into the channel on YouTube and you'll be able to find the video where I kind of went through a lot more detail of it. Today, all I'm going to do is load this one up with the electroplated flat laps and we'll just see what it comes up as. Hopefully it's a pretty good stone. I've had a couple of ones not really show much of anything, which has been a bit disappointing. So like opal, this stuff can have color, really good color, and sometimes it can fall flat. At least this is a pretty big chunk to play with. So I'm just basically gonna treat it a bit like a seam opal and we're gonna blitz around this outer edge and then just take down both sides and hopefully we hit something decent. I'm certainly not an expert in this material. If you want an expert, just go check out Fire Agate Mark. His name on YouTube kind of gives it away. This is his bread and butter. In fact, this piece came from him through friend of the channel Mike. So certainly check out his channel. I'll link it in the description and everything. He's actually incredibly similar to what I do. He just does it with a different material, fire agate, whereas I stick to my opal. So let me set up the flat lap and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I won't mute the background noise for this one. I'll let you hear what it's like. So at the start, when you're using a flat lap, just be careful. Very early on, a lot of the loose crusty bits will come flying off. You'll feel it flick across your fingers. What you don't want to feel is it flick into your eye. If that happens, that is a disaster, so wear glasses. Protect your eyes, they're pretty important. You've only got 2 of them, and they don't seem to grow back. So the progress of the stone is super quick because I'm using the 100 grit. I could have dropped back to the 240, but you might as well just use your 100 grit. It's a pretty brutal disc though. It will not really damage your fingers, but the stone really cops it hard. So just blitzing through all of the edges, blitzing through all of the crusty bits, very fast compared to the Dremel. This is minutes, not hours. So it just takes 2 minutes to get through all of that, and then there you go. We're getting close to the edge, so I'm just creeping it in. I found a couple little bits and pieces, but this is not the gem I was looking for. And another useful thing that I use the flat lap for all the time off the channel, creating flat surfaces. So a lot of flat backs. You'll see me do a bit of doublet work and you'll see the flat lap get used there. Super useful. Just make sure you use the whole disc so you don't get uneven wear. And then here you go, the final stone. It's not perfect, does not look like what I was hoping for, but you know what, it is what it is. And at least this time I got a little bit of something, which is better than the last 3. Alright, now here we are. I am a little bit disappointed. Actually, probably a lot disappointed. Not with the flat lap. The flat lap did its job. It's performing incredibly well. I've just taken the guard off and put it here so you can see it. But this fire agate, it's just not my material, is it? I just don't really get it. The flat lap itself, have a look, that's the water that I was using for cutting. So I went through all 600 mils. If I drag my fingers along the bottom, like, look at this stuff. Blitz through it so quick. It's just a bit of mud now. We had quite a huge chunk. And have a look at this. If I can keep it wet, it's a bit like opal. If you wet it, you can see it a little bit better. There's a little bit of something here. Now there was a little bit more, but I blitzed through it and it just disappeared. I have no idea how people get a good cab out of fire agate material. It is like working on some of the thinnest opal. I punctured a little bubble of color. Right here, you can see it in the dead center, and it just completely disappeared. So there's just these little smatterings around the place. I was so hopeful. I was hunting and searching. There's a couple more, if I can keep it wet, there's a couple more areas over here. But maybe you just need higher grade material to be able to get proper cabs out of it. There's a little bit under here. Maybe I'll just explore a little bit more with the Dremel on this stone. I don't want to completely give up on it. There's just hints of nice stuff. I still to this day have not cut myself a fire agate that I'm super happy with, just because I see fire agate Mark get these amazing pieces. So definitely follow this video up with a bit of his, because he'll be able to actually show you some of that nice little flash that I'm just getting a tiny little pocket of. And yeah, if I let this dry a little bit, you can see the 100 grit electroplated flat lap does chomp through real quick. It's so easy to get this flat base. This is what I use it for most of the time, just to get a nice flat base. And to shape, it's much easier to shape with a flat lap than it is with the Dremel, because you don't have to do that real quick movement. All you need to do is that just rolling grind. You can do it this way if you want to see the outer edge of the shape. And then if this stone had been a little bit better, I was just basically going to let the back dry here and then just dop that onto a stick, get the final shaping right, and then we would have been there. But it's unfortunately, I think I'm going to call it quits. I'll keep it in a tub of water. Maybe next time I'm doing an opal and I've got the burrs already spinning, I might just pick this one up and just have a little bit of a exploration. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to have a chat with Mark about this material and just find out more about it. And I do have some pieces that look really good, but I don't want to touch them because they look good in rough form. And if I do something like this and it comes up looking like this, I'm going to be super sad about it. So yeah, this one I might just polish as is. Just get the Dremel out, smoothen the edges, give it a nice little, pretty high dome just because it's a big chunk. And then just try to retain this little flash here, because I don't know, it's got this nice bronze glow to it, a nice color. But it is that flash, that play of color that you're really looking for. There's even a little bit of it right there. You can see a little bit of green, but it's mostly just that bronzy look. I just have no idea how people get nice cabs out of it. I'm pretty sure the only success I've had is with the carving and just following the bubbles and just pretty much making the outer surface match the little bubbles of color. Super unfortunate, but at least the flat lap was going really well. And so I will be doing a lot more flat lapping, but I think I'll stick to my material and get some opal on there, particularly boulder, because you should see how it just melts up against the 100 grit. This one's actually getting a little bit old, so it might be a bit more gentle now, which would be good because I've blitzed through a lot of material with it. And you'll notice that I use the electroplated and not the sintered diamond ones that I've been meaning to try. The sintered diamond ones are 100 times heavier than this, and the poor little 3D printed one, it's only got a small little motor. Give you a little bit of a look. So it's just using DC power, and this is the motor here. The torque on these ones is not super high. So as soon as you put something heavy on there, like a sintered diamond lap, and then you push a stone up against it, and if you push it fairly flush, like you're trying to do the back of a stone, it does really hold it up. So you have to crank up the speed and just do it in little bursts. And I just don't want to burn out the motor. So we'll just save those sintered diamond laps for the big motor, the big AC motors that I've got. But if you're just going to use electroplated laps, these are incredibly decent machines. Wallamy is pumping them out at the moment. So by all means, I'll try to find the links that I have and share them below. If it can blitz through fire agate, it certainly blitzes through all the other softer opal materials. And if you stay tuned, I'll show you that. It is super fun to just disappear opal, at least the crust anyway. So some of the big ugly rough pieces of boulder, if I'm just exploring, trying to have a look, trying to find any little pockets or seams, this just does it so much faster than the Dremel. You just got to be careful that you don't blitz all the way through something thin. Let me whip out some opal and start this guy back up. Good luck with your carving, and I'll see you in the next one.